Hi, Johnny. I'm Shay. Thank you so much for chatting with It's Only Entertainment today.
Hi,
How are you?
I am good working. I just got to Houston. We're performing at, well, I'm performing at Warehouse Live.
Okay.
Me, my homegirl, Juicy Fruit, Erica Banks, and it's sold out. So I'm like excited. And I'm the only singer on there. So
Oh,
I'm like, I got to come in there,
with
period.
the vocals, with the
The
vocals.
vocals, the vocals, straight vocals, straight
Period.
vocals.
Period. Well, I'm so excited to talk to you because your career has been flourishing and reaching new heights. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. I've been watching your growth from your feature on Love and Hip Hop until now, and I think like I would just want to get straight into the music for you because you have been dropping
Yeah.
a lot of new music. You have Somewhere Waiting to Hear as well, and you're a single with
Yeah.
Trina called So Into You.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what was your experience like working with Trina? Like, how was that?
Trina is the baddest baby. Like, no, she's like, no, for real. But she's like so sweet. Just very hands-on with her business. Like my grandmother had passed away June 7th, and then June 10th was my birthday. And my label had set up 3 music videos that whole day back to back in Miami. So I was dealing with so much, and she knew that I was going through things and stuff like that. So when she got there, she's just super sweet. We act just alike, like just about your business and keep
Yes.
to yourself and a sweetheart. And it was like probably one of my most favorite artist to artist like moments. So it's like it's a whole new wave. It's me singing. Everybody's like, you're always doing like rap singing because we don't know that you really sing. So I'm like, all right, I got y'all. So now I'm like in full R&B mode, and it's
Okay.
exciting. And then but prior to that, I had dropped my other single was featuring NLE Chopper. So
Yes.
it's going pretty good. And I got him to sing. So I was just like, okay, it's going
Yes.
pretty good. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm pretty like excited. I think I'm like the second singer, well, the first independent like singer that really got a record with him. So I was really excited for that too.
Nice. And I was listening to the song Toxic for a couple times now at this point. The music video is also amazing. But I wanted to ask you, working with like Trina NLE Choppa, and I know like even you have your own music process, the way that you guys develop your music and create music. So did you like learn anything from the both of them that you took for your music development?
They remind me, actually, the artists that I've been working with, they just remind me of, they have similarities of me. Like there's no really difference. If you're focused on your music, you're gonna really connect, and you're gonna be twinning with a lot of stuff when you see artists. They're very to themselves, they're about family and friends and their business. And it's really just showing me in them how I see them is I'm focused and I'm doing something right
Yeah.
because it's similarity. So I was just like, all right, let me keep working, keep this same pattern that I've been doing and just keep going and it'll be fine. And I'm really getting like a lot of feedback. People are like, oh, she's singing. Oh, this is cool. Like, so I want to see more. What else can you do? Can you do this? You play instruments. Are you going to play piano in there? Yes. Are you going to play guitar? Yes. Are you going to do the drums? Yes. So it's like, it's a whole image change, mental change, spiritually, everything. And that's why people are probably like, you're calmer and stuff. And I'm just like, no, I'm just more focused. And I care about myself more than anything now in my life, especially the things that I've been going through and just the process of, I always speak about mental health. And let people know, especially in the Black community, people don't look at mental health as being a serious situation. So I've always spoken about that, my anxiety, my depression. And I just, instead of going on the internet, I was like, no, I'm going to write about it. I'm going to go to LA and work with, Phil and Dre Beats and Green Team Label and just people that care, and really want me to focus on that. So they'll ask me before a session, they're like, what do you feel like? And I'm like, I feel like, and they're like, okay, I got something for you. So I'm noticing, when I spoke to Trina and Ali, and I'm looking at these records, how they do them, they also get into their mode of focusing on what the song is about, and they may have memories or something, and they put it. So I'm really not doing anything different than them. It's just making me confirm like, okay, I'm doing something right, because they also go through this. They, instead of expressing through social media, that's only for a second, and then the next popular thing is posted. But an everlasting record, you know, a record that's like, it means something, is everything. So
yes, I totally agree. I love that, an everlasting record. Honestly, that could be a new song, girl. I mean, a new song.
Be like a dang on Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey don't be playing with the girls when it comes to Christmas or any time, period. But she do not play. That's an everlasting record.
Right there. Yes, it is. And you know, I'm so
every time I see it, I go in Target and I start hearing it start off like, all I want for Christmas is. When I hear that low going down, I'm like, she about to Target. Where Mariah?
So funny. So funny. And you know, I actually saw a live, one of your lives where you mentioned that you was holding out some music on us. Like, I need to know, girl, what can we talk about it? Why have you been holding out the music on us? And you're talking about how much you play so much instruments. I'm excited to see everything that you do, because there's not much people out there like you, Jhonni, you know, and I would love to know, why are you holding out? What's going on?
Well, I'm not holding out no more. Now it's like full throttle. It wasn't time. You know, sometimes you just, like I said, you got to get yourself, well, for me, I have to get myself focused. I'm always talking in interviews like, oh, I'm getting myself focused mentally, but it was like a whole lie to cover up, you know, me really not going to get help and really focus on myself and love me more. So I really took that step. So now it's like, I feel positive about it because it's not a cover up. And it's like, okay, now I can show y'all stuff and y'all don't have to worry about some other tabloids or something else. It's just strictly music. Like, I rebranded my label and me, rebranded like everything, like just my whole page, social media. I don't post subliminals, or if I'm going through stuff, I'm just like, I'm upset. Let me call the team. Y'all got studio time today? I got something to say. And then when I submit the records, they're like, because we're doing live instruments now. We're bringing in people. We're doing bands. We're doing, you know, we're going to be doing an unplug from the R&B records that I've recently been doing in LA. So we're going to be posting that. And it's really just, that was the reason why, like, I had to get into me more. So now it's like,
definitely find that inner peace. I love it. I love it so much. And I actually wanted to ask you then, like, because I know you did express that you were going through like different moments in life. You know, everyone has that journey to grow. And what would you say, if you could title this chapter of your life, what would you title it? And will we hear this more? Like, will your new music represent this moment in your life?
Yeah, I actually, you know, we all grow. There's this thing where people might say, like, for example, like Lil Sunshine or Little Water. Like, let's say if that was an artist name, and then you take off the little because you're grown up now. So Jhonni Blaze, I'm going into full mode of Jhonni, like just the regular name Jhonni, because I feel like I've grown from just that whole, you know, era of that. And sometimes people call me by my real name, Japel. So I would say, I would title it Me, because you're getting like really all of me. Like, you're getting, I've never been a person to sugarcoat stuff. And I think that sometimes scare people. Yeah. But it's like, I sugarcoat now things, but I still get my point across, you know? Yeah. So I would say the word would be me, you know, it would be, you know, my government, which everybody's trying to figure out how to say it. It's Japel, but it's Japel in America. Everybody's like, what is it? Jazapple, Chappelle? They're like, so what's the middle name? Like, what's the middle name? I'm like, Bon Krishna. They're like, yeah, we're gonna stick to Jhonni. I'm like, so what you ask for? Why are you being weird? Why are you being weird to me? Like, you gotta really, like, you making me bring the up north out. Like, why you gotta be weird?
Right. Oh, that's so true. My mama gave me my name, you know, like, hello.
My mama gave me that name, man. Like, Shorty, like, what's good? Like, you don't like my name? Like, so I would say, I would title it Me. How I can describe my whole life right now is just about me. Yeah. And it shows in my music. Like, I literally went to a whole week of a camp of writers and stuff, and we all wrote. And my first time going into the studio, it's been like a couple of weeks, I just instantly, the first sound that I said out my mouth, like the words, instantly I just start crying. Wow. Because I was just like, I felt it. And the song's called Satellite. So stay tuned.
Okay.
And it was just everything. So I definitely feel like my passion and stuff is going into my music more. And I'm
I
happy
really
about
love
it.
that. I see it on your face. Like it's like there's a light, you know? And
that's why I got on here with no makeup, honey. I don't care. Zipper.
I was for that. I love this.
So real gritty, girl. Because I like to show people that an interview, I feel like an interview with people, because I don't mind getting done up, but I feel like sometimes with interviews, you see people with baseball caps, you see like people just being normal, like it feels more organic like that. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not getting to all that. I'm gonna just be me. I like to show people what they consider flaws are really not flaws. Somebody's still gonna think you're beautiful. Somebody's still gonna think I'm cute with my hair not done. They're still gonna love me. They're still gonna support me no matter what. And that's the whole thing. That's why I love when Alicia Keys, well, her skin's a little bit better. I'm getting there, but she doesn't wear no makeup. I used to be afraid of my eyebrows was too thin, or I break out around my eyes, or when I get anxiety, I sweat. And I'm just like, no, I'd rather just show everything, because this is who I am, and you're gonna love me or you're just not, you know. So
no, I love that. I'm actually a huge acne advocate. So I'm always talking about like your skin, embracing your acne, period. Like
I am working on it, because it was worse. That, trust me, and that's why I feel like people grow with me and love me, because they're just like, you're not a normal, I guess what they call me, like a celeb. I just love music and I love being me. Yeah. So hopefully as I grow, I can really show people like, oh, it doesn't matter how much money you have or if you have the #1 record, just be yourself. That's why I love Cardi. That's my sweetheart. Every time she sees me, she's always the same. Hey, Jhonni, you know what time it is. What's up? Okay, big booty. It's the same energy. She's never changed. And I always thought about like other artists that I see that's never changed. And I'm like, I'm not going to change me being a loving, outgoing person for anybody. And I definitely want to be one of those artists that's like showing them like, it's okay. So what? It's okay if you have breakouts. It's okay if your hair is not done one day or a nail's missing. Like, it's okay. So
I love that. I honestly love that message so much. Authenticity is key.
Yeah.
Being
People
yourself is what
need
matters.
to hear that, because they're like, well, you had surgery in this. I said, yes, because I wanted it. Some people do things for themselves, and that's where like my music speaks for itself. Like, you just gotta say what you feel, honey. Like, what you feel, say it with your chest.
Right.
Say it with your chest. What you feel like. So that's kind of how the music goes for me. Like everything that I think about, from my body, how I look, how I feel, just pushing that brand of being yourself. You don't always have to be done up. It all intertwines into my music. Like, be yourself. You're gonna have heartbreaks. You're gonna have sad moments. Write about it. Write a journal. Don't express it to people, because people are not gonna really care. Majority. It's going to be another news thing that's up, and then it's whatever. So I think that's where it helps me more with my music to write and things like that. So.
Yes. And, you know, speaking of music, you also are now doing acting as well. And you were in P-Valley as well. And
yeah. I can't say if I'm in P-Valley or not. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I want to know more though about.
But I have been filming for some movies.
Okay, and that's what I was going to ask. Are you stepping into the movie realm, and more of a scripted realm? Because you were doing the reality thing, but what about the scripted wise now? Is that your?
Because you know what happened? People didn't realize my personality, and they're like, yo, she just be all over. I got like 10 people in me, like different, like just, I'm all over the place. Sometimes I want to talk like this and I want to speak like this, or maybe sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like totally, like that was so unusual. And people be seeing me do this on TikTok and they're like, yo, you ever thought about like, and I'm like, you know what? I think I might just do it. And it works for me. And I never knew how great I was at it until people was like, did you take class? I'm like, no. And they're like, do you do this all the time? I'm like, yes. So it made me have a passion for it. And I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I really want to get into acting. And so that's where the movies and other things started happening.
I'm so excited. Are you able to tell us at least one movie or maybe somebody you're working with?
Yes, I can tell you it's an independent film. I feel like it's gonna get bigger because it got so many people. We got Angel Love, we got me, we got a girl named Bella, that's my homegirl. It's just a bunch of us. We got Cayenne from Love and Hip Hop New York. And it's called Send the Movie. And I'm super excited because when I got on set, they were like, yo, as soon as you come on set, you're just so vibrant. Like, hey y'all. So it's a really different, it's different from the reality world. Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't say you're not working with reality, but it's like when you do movies and real life things, it's like totally different. And you have a more passion for it. You don't have to worry about looking past your head and being like, oh, there goes a cup. that didn't connect this time. Cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see that though. I can't wait to see honestly every one of your projects coming out. I'm so excited. And like
me too. I'll give you a hint on some features. We got a Boosie feature, Kevin Gates feature, we have a Juicy Fruit feature, Macy Gray feature. I co-wrote her single that dropped a month and 2 weeks ago. So I'm just working, and me and Fredo are in the works of a record too. We just got my label and we got to get to Miami, but it's amazing. I want to work with more R&B girls. Like I don't think nobody knows I'm like this. And I think once they see it, they're like, oh nah, she's goofy and fun. Like this girl is
because they always say when people make R&B music, they have to be going through something. Like that's the best R&B music. What is your opinion on that? And now that you feel like now that you're in this space, do you feel like you can still provide that music as well?
I cried my first day going in because I felt it as soon as I started singing. I just knew. When I heard the record when we was recording in LA, I was like, I just know this is different. I sound different. And like I said, I have anxiety and stuff. So I always have moods. So I can either channel myself into a mood or it's going to work for me, but I wouldn't know for other people. But for me, when you go through pain though, and you're focused on an R&B record for pain, yes, it does affect you in a good way, in a different way when you're singing, because you hear it, you can feel it. But for me, I've been through so much pain in my life that all it takes is kind of like a trigger. All it takes is for me just to sit there and think about it. And it's an instant, like, yeah, I'm gonna go sing about it. So, and that I'm happy about. I've trained myself to just, keep it to where it goes on paper, it goes on music, and not just out for drama. It's no point in it.
Listen, I think we need some happiness in R&B, girl. I need to be smiling sometimes.
Oh, I got that too, honey. I got it. I said it with my chest.
Right. Please.
I with my chest.
We were talking so much about mental health, which I love. And I feel like that's something that's really been spoken about a lot more this year and within 2020. Yes. And you have always been one, as you mentioned earlier, like you talk about it, you have expressed it with your fans so many times. And I just love the transparency of it. And I feel like within this industry, music wise, and as an entertainer as a whole, you have to figure out how to balance both your career, your family and friends, your life, So and you mentioned journaling earlier as that's what you do in terms of writing when you do your music.
I also I changed since October 14th, every day I read a scripture of the Bible. I write it down and I tell myself how it affects me and how it changes me and what do I think of it. Then I write in another journal my daily, like, what have I done today? What irritated me? What can I do to be better? I have a counselor. I have a pastor that's a counselor as well as that. And sometimes people have an extent to either they have medication they do, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nobody's business to dictate if you need medication or you need this in order for you to, as long as you're happy and it's making you become a better person. It doesn't matter. And I think the world, people fear people judging them a lot. The world's kind of like a little swirl right now. So I love talking about mental health because
I love it too. Yeah, I love hearing you talk about it, honestly. And I even wanted to ask you, now in a time of seasonal depression, a lot of people go through that. It's super common. What would be like your first, if you had to give advice to anybody, what would you say this should be your first step, or this is what you should probably look into, or what would be your first advice for them to do?
There's a lot of things that's for free. I seen this in a movie, but I can't remember everything. You could just find a little place in your closet and start putting sticky notes behind that, and expressing. And then every now and again, you go back there and you have like a little office, or you can maybe pad your room for 99 cents, the pad room, and scream in there. You can go to a rage room. You can pray. Like praying, you can go in the shower and cry your eyes out all day. It's all of these are not going down to the point where it's like, oh, I want to harm myself. These are normal things that you should do, because people make it seem like it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to do this. Or if you do want a counselor or a person that doesn't know anything about you, you could just express. There's so many things, a journal, reading the Bible, going to church. It's not that it's all about spiritual, but it's just so many things. I went to a rage room a couple of days ago.
How was it?
So my counselor said, think about what you're mad about when you're doing the rage. But I think it's because I've been already practicing on healing myself.
Right.
I went to the rage room and was happy. I was like, throw it, let's go. And I forgot what I was mad about. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad about nothing. She was like, what? I was like, no, I'm serious. This was actually kind of fun. I think I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
She's like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you're not upset. I'm like, no. I was like, I said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna kick it to you, sis. She was like, I'm a pastor. I was like, I got you, but sis, listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't mad about nothing. She's like, no, for real. I'm like, no, I'm serious. I really wasn't mad. I had so much fun. I started hitting the wall because we didn't have no more cups to break. I was like, can we hit the wall too? And then the camera zoomed. I was like, you can't do that. I'm like, give me some more plates. And it was fun. It didn't make me upset or anything. Some things, we just have to find what's best for us that makes us feel comfortable. It makes us heal eventually. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes somebody might say something to you, you just might want to fight. No, go to a rage room. You'll be all right. And it's legal.
Yeah. I
got all that stuff. I love being like just really, really real with people, because it's terrible out here. It's really a lot going on. And sometimes you just need that peace. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just, things that are free is really just praying. You can find things in your home, switch things around, have a journal that nobody can find. Like,
right. I love that. Like, I really love that for you. And I feel
like a kid when I do the journal, I'm like, today, this person made me mad because they apple juice. And you know what? The next time they take the apple juice, I'm gonna put a bunch of water in it so it don't taste like apple juice. I just write the most detailed things, and then I think about when I reread it. I laugh about it. Even when it makes me mad, I kind of like laugh because I'm just like, yo, I'm like older. Why am I doing this? But it feels good. So.
Yeah, no, I love honestly all of those things. And I feel like in this time frame and space that you are now, and I'm so happy like you've really gotten to accomplish this space, and like you're growing even more. Like, this is so amazing to see. How would you define your healing journey?
The people that I have around me, my friends, my label, they just didn't give up. It was like, they were just like, yo, you have so much talent. If you could just get your mental, and I'm like, yo, your mental is yourself. It's not nobody else that's over your mental. It's not no one else that's over your career or your life. It's yourself. So if that's the last thing that you need to fix, if you love music so much, or you love whatever profession that you're doing, why don't you take that step to push and be great? So once I started seeing the change, it's only been like a month or two, and it feels amazing. So I'm just like, I like this.
Yeah.
And I like that I'm accomplishing so much more, and people are looking at me in a different light. I had went to the Millennium Tour, and I seen everybody backstage from Spectacular, Bow, just everybody, and they were looking at me and they were just like, you just look so much happier. You look so much like you good. Like, are you, I was thinking about you. And I was like, I'm pretty good. Like, I feel great. And they was looking at me. They were like, you look like you're like happy. And I'm like, yeah, I think I am. Let me check with all the 12 personalities. Yeah, we're good. We're great.
We're all right. Like,
we're all great. We're all on TikTok. All of our 12 personalities. We're pretty good over there. But.
Right. Oh my gosh, Jhonni, this has been amazing. I am so happy for you, love. I think that your growth has been so amazing to watch, and I can't wait to see where you are every year, honestly, because you're always accomplishing something every year. You always
I know
have
I'm such a random person. I just thought about that. I'm like, real random. I'm like the person that would randomly get a Grammy and be working so hard. I'll be like, wait, I got nominated? Right. Like that was 2.5 weeks ago, Jhonni. Yes. I'm one of those. Like I work so much. And this is another thing. Don't work so much to the point you don't at least take some time to appreciate the accomplishment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like people do that. We work so hard. We block out everything that really we need to have around us to keep us grounded, to focus, that we don't appreciate our accomplishments. So
no, I love that. One of my mentors, M-Easy, shout out to M-Easy. He told me that, yes. And I've ever since I was like, I have to start embracing more, because we're, like you said, we're always on the go, but we got to remember that there's so much we've accomplished. There's things that we prayed for last year that we're doing now. And we're not even taking time to soak in those moments.
I used to have people tell me, you're never going to accomplish music. You'll never get features. Nobody will never take you serious. Nobody's going to want to work with you. You're just always going to be a dancer. I haven't danced in 6 years, maybe 7. I ended up getting, I forgot. We have a little in the little folder, me and Neo, because I know his wife, we have a record. And I'm sitting here looking at all these legends I'm dealing with, and I'm like, I'm doing everything else that I couldn't do. So if I would have stopped when y'all told me to, I would have never seen all the blessings, you know, that is in my life. You should never let somebody else direct your life.
Right.
By their opinions, by their what they feel. It's not a fact. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I encourage people, because people tend to give up. Either they give up because of their age, either they give up because they don't, the appearance. We got people over here that's skinny, short, thick, and they're winning. Like people don't care about that no more, because if they see someone that is a little bit more heavier and they see they have accomplished something as a singer or whatever, you're going to look at them and you see them in yourself, because you're probably dealing with the same thing. Be like, okay, it doesn't matter about your weight. It doesn't matter about what you look like. It matters if that talent shows. And I feel like the world is starting to get more into, as long as you got talent, we ain't caring about nothing else. Because if that was the case, then people would have told me, no, because you used to dance. No, because you used to be a wild card. No, it's just you building yourself and believing, you know. So I encourage you to do that.
Thank you so much, beautiful. I really appreciate
you
talking to me today. I am so excited for you, love.
Thank you. I appreciate you.